Hi guys, this is Oracle Daphne doing your, well, this is for everyone who has their sun, moon, or ascendant in Gemini. And this is for your mid-September reading. I'm doing the mid-September readings. I'm trying to do them all in one day here. I haven't even had lunch. That's okay, because the less I eat, the more I feel like I'm receptive to my psychic gifts and things come to me easier. So this is for you lovely Geminis. And let's see what we get. You know, I'm really going to shuffle. I'm going to reshuffle because I just did the last one, and I really want to make sure that I'm pulling for Gemini. Pulling for Gemini. Okay. Okay. I really like this one. Okay, so this is how I feel about it. So this is what's going on. Right now, okay, so this is taking the place of my September 14th daily horoscope. Normally I do daily horoscopes, and I'm just doing everyone's for, this is like mid-September. I'm going to resume my daily horoscopes on the 15th. Stay tuned for that. And so here we go. So this is where you guys are at right now. You, in a relation, this is to me somebody who just came out of a relationship. And they are really done with, in a way, the old relationship. And in the new relationship, they want someone they can trust. They want someone who's very stable and honest and truthful. This is someone who's born in December or January. Usually a Capricorn or Aquarius. The Queen of Swords, you know, in typical tarot, is like an Aquarius female. This is like the Ice Queen, okay? But it's just more her exterior that's very cold, you know? This could also be you. You could be like an older woman, someone who's got a few gray hairs. I'm starting to get gray hair myself, which really freaks me out. You could have some Asian in you. You could be Asian. You could be, you know, almost like, I'm feeling like some of you maybe are from either Pakistan, India, Iraq, Iran. You know, you got that Middle Eastern vibe. You could have a Middle Eastern vibe to you. Feeling the Indian, though. You know, your favorite color is purple. You love butterflies. You're obsessed with butterflies. And there is an element of magic, because I sometimes call her the fairy queen, okay? So there's elements of magic. You know, wherever she waves her hand, it's like magic happens, okay? It does. It's just, you know, basically whatever she wants, she gets. And Aquariuses and Capricorns are very forceful. They're more the women that have a difficult time in relationships sometimes because they either, you know, have a boyfriend or husband that's too girly because they're trying to, it's like the balancing out the female strong masculine energy. This is someone who has a strong masculine energy about them. Even though they're female, they are very, very strong. It's the female warrior, you know. You actually may be in like the army or something like that. You know, you may have some muscle. She also could be the opposite. She could be quite delicate, you know, and she's been hurt before. So she's very delicate and she doesn't like getting hurt. And so she's willing to use the sword of truth to go in and figure things out ahead of time. This can also be a doctor, someone when I think of swords, I think of the scalpel. And so this could be like a female doctor. I'm just noticing. This sword does not look good. Like a samurai. The samurai, I don't know, is coming through. So maybe some samurai Asian vibe there. I don't know, someone who does like knife throwing or something like that. Knives might be like, it could be a chef too, actually, because chefs have, you know, this knife obsession sometimes. You may have like a crazy knife collection. I don't know. But you know, this is for Geminis. Geminis are quite quirky themselves. They have their own personalities. Sometimes they're really awkward because they have their own personalities. But they have brilliant minds. So this is kind of just where you're at. And then what's crossing you is this goal. You have a goal in mind, Gemini. You're looking towards the future. But you are like, your blinders are really on. So you're almost cruising too fast here. You're going too fast with the blinders on, and you're not paying attention to everything that you should be paying attention to. Interestingly enough, we got the wild card for your foundation. So the root of the tree, the trunk of the tree is, you know, you need to figure out what it is that you want. You know, and Geminis are quite delicate sometimes, like I said, and people can really, some Geminis are more like, they have that knife, you know, and they'll use it, but a lot of the times they don't like, a lot of times they can be pushed around, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. And someone may be, you know, they get themselves into positions where someone ends up making the decisions for them because they see, you know, people in their lives see that they're not making any of the decisions. So they start to make decisions for them. And this is the problem with Aquarius and Geminis, okay? The problem with Aquarius and Geminis is Aquarius makes good decisions. They make fast decisions. And they become impatient when a Gemini doesn't make any decision. They suck at decision making. And so the Aquarius can tend to dominate the relationship. And there's resentment there, you know. Back to the blinders. Okay, so no, back to the wheel. Okay, so the wheel is, Gemini, you need to make up your mind. You need to go for it. Whatever it is, it's time to spin the wheel. It's time to make a decision. It's time to figure out what it is that really you want. Whether that's in a relationship or whether that's in life in general, that is something you need to do. And you know what? I always tell people, write a list of goals, Gemini. Get organized. Write a list of your goals. That is what you want. Okay, in the past, you know, I feel like there was some resolution of some kind. This is the Judgment card. I almost feel like you got a divorce in the past. You know, you recently are divorced and you put it behind you. This relationship is in the past, and you woke up and you basically got a fresh start. You may have gotten a fresh start in life. You may have been in a car accident and you actually like may have just felt like, you know, finally like you're getting over it. You recovered. You know, that may have happened in the past at some point. Maybe several years ago too. That might not have been that recent, but that happened. You know, you went through that. Where you're at right now is you're sitting on top of the world. We just got this for Taurus. So it's nice because you guys are in a really good place at this moment. And, you know, this is really someone who's looking, it's funny, someone who's looking at the bigger picture. So the wheel is like the universe. It's so big. And then we've got this power and achievement. So really together, this is really good. You know, they said, you know, Geminis are air signs and they live in their head. So, you know, what's going on in your head is also what's going on in your life, right? So they say so above as so below. So at the top of the tree is your head, you know, and the bottom of the tree is your life. And so the two, when you have really good top and bottom, that means things are really lining up. And things are improving, because the wheel is also improvement on, that they say what goes around comes around. So, if you've been at the bottom, which, maybe in the beginning of September, you're feeling like you were at the bottom, maybe you're having some difficulty. But now things are starting to improve, and things are going to improve even more. That is my feeling. And we also got this for Taurus, too. This is another card we got for Taurus. Getting love and support from, a male. This is distinctly male and female. It can sometimes be two girls, another girl that supports a girl. But I see this as being a male figure most of the time. And he supports you, Gemini, and he wants to support you. If you're the Gemini male, this is like your wife, or this is your girlfriend, and you are supporting her, and you are giving her what she needs to achieve her dreams. She's literally reaching for the stars. And you're giving it all you got, And this is a great relationship. This is a great partnership. This is someone who's happy in their marriage. I talk a lot about in my meetings, people that aren't happy in their relationships. And this is someone who's really happy, in their relationship. So you, Gemini, I like to see this. This is good for you. This is you maybe getting a divorce in the past, and now you're in a relationship with someone that's really good. Really, really good. And there's passion, There's passion. We got the passion again. We got the passion. We got this for Aries, So this is someone who's staking their claim too. Someone who's making, I think of it as like a guy who's like staking their claim on a girl, They're saying, I want you to be mine, This can be also two guys and two girls. Someone who's just saying, you're mine, I want you to be in my life. I want you to be my partner. I want you to be my wife, Wife rhymes. I'm rhyming today. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I'm really rhyming. Rocking and rolling, too. All right, so what's coming towards you is like it's actually kind of a reflective time. So you may feel like, it's weird, other people may cause you to be more reflective than you normally are. Now, Geminis are air signs, so they're always thinking about stuff. But someone may tell you something that may give you pause to think about things. And you may need to take some alone time, Maybe this is like a day off. You may need to maybe the universe is telling you, okay, it's time to take a day off. To be alone. To think about things. To think about your decisions, Think about your relationships with other people. And it's not just romance, because clearly you've got something going on here. Okay, we've got the passion, and we've got the partnership. We got the stars at the top, with the star there, a star there. It's not, there's something good happening here. It may just be between the sheets, but I think it's also in business too, because this can be a business partnership. So Gemini, if you're in business, you're partnered up with somebody, then you're doing really good. And then the attitude is actually waiting. So you're waiting on something. It's weird. You've got this action, and you're focused, and then you're waiting. They're very similar. This guy's riding this creature. This guy's riding this creature. Can be two girls also. Two girls, as well as two guys. So, very similar cards, similar energy. You're focused, you're thinking about something, and you're waiting on that something. You're really fixed on it. I'm not sure what it is that you're waiting on. Maybe you're waiting for things to change. Maybe you're waiting to come to that decision. You haven't come to the decision yet, but the universe is telling you to make the decision. This is being patient, too. This is being patient about something. This is sort of like parking it, but like sitting in your car for like a night, you know, and just saying, I'm just going to sit here and wait all night until I get an answer. My counsel here is, if you're dealing, it depends on who you're dealing with. Because this is a good card as far as being patient. You may feel like, you know, you're not supported as much as you want. You got the support card, so it's not that. You're waiting on somebody to make a move. That's what it is. Maybe you're waiting for this person that you're in a relationship to propose. Or you're waiting for a move from one of your friends. Maybe you're waiting for someone to call you. You know, you're waiting for their move. You know, it's the part in the chess game where you're just sitting there and you're waiting for somebody else to make the move. So you, for whatever reason, think the ball is in somebody else's court. But the mistake here, I think, it depends on who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with an Aquarius, do not wait. Do not. This is not the right move. Geminis in itself, they need to take more action. They need to stop thinking about making the decision, and they need to do it. For better or for worse, they need to do it. They need to get off this camel and off their high horse. And literally, that's kind of what it is. Gemini, get off your high horse and call the person. That's the message. Call them. Don't wait. And it will give you some serious peace of mind if you do that. You will have peace of mind. This card is beautiful. This card is like, you know, this is the Eight of Cups. This is feeling like, and I equate it to kind of feeling like you're swimming. You're deep underwater and there is no noise. You know, you can't hear anything. There's nobody talking to you. There's no thoughts that are really running through your head. It's just you swimming. And it's swimming in peace and swimming in contentment. And in your emotions, your cups are really full. And I just think these emotions are kind of like flashlights. You know, they're lighting her way. Your emotions are lighting your way. So they're really positive. Your emotions are just, they're happy. This is like happiness. And happiness is so elusive for some of us, but if you don't get a chance to go swimming, you need to go. Join the Y. Go swimming. Getting underwater, getting in water is very, very therapeutic for a lot of people. But this, I think, really for you means peace of mind. That's all that I'm really getting. I feel like there's something, like, actually, I'm going back here. I lied. Let me see. There's something about these two together. This reflection and they're waiting. Reflection, waiting. There is, the counsel is that I think what I'm trying to get at is if you wait, if you take too much time to reflect and you wait too long, you're not going to have the peace of mind. So that's my final counsel. Do not take too long. There's an element of time here. You know, do not take too long. A day at the most. You know, so by September 15th, if you are still waiting, you waited too long. Or sorry, I should say, I'll give you 15. So by September 16th, if you've waited till September 16th on somebody or somebody maybe to call you or something, or to have see what the other person does, you've passed the threshold where you should be waiting. You shouldn't be waiting because you need to get peace of mind. And the peace of mind is going to happen when you go for it and you get off the camel and you take some action. you can wait, but not too long. That is my final counsel. And I have spoken. So, sorry about all these light issues here. I wish you all the best, Gemini. Big hugs. Big kisses. I will see you again for my September 15th reading and my reading for October, which will probably come out in maybe a week or so. And I'll talk to you guys then. Thank you. Bye.